Do you ever wake up feeling like there's a heavy, invisible band wrapped tightly around your chest? Or maybe you find yourself getting unexpectedly winded just walking up a standard flight of stairs. Perhaps you're dealing with a persistent, dry morning cough that just will not seem to clear up no matter what you do. If you are experiencing these issues, you know exactly how exhausting and genuinely frustrating it can be to feel like you can't get a full, deep breath. In this video, we're going to take a completely objective, deep dive look at a product that's been getting a lot of attention for targeting precisely these issues. It's called Pulmo Balance. We're going to strip away all the marketing hype, look at the actual science, and tell you exactly what the evidence suggests. By the end of this review, you're going to understand exactly how this formula works, what's inside it, and most importantly, if it's a genuinely smart investment for your own long-term lung health. Here is exactly how we're going to break this down today. We'll start by examining the core breathing problem itself, define what Pulmo Balance is, and then thoroughly analyze its key ingredients. After that, we'll weigh the brand's claims against the scientific reality, cover the vital safety information and side effects, and wrap up with a strict consumer buying guide.
So let's jump right into part one, the breathing problem and the daily respiratory challenges so many people face.
If you struggle with shallow breathing, excess mucus production, or simply feeling like you're operating on low oxygen levels all day long, I want you to know you're not alone. Millions of adults deal with this silently. And typically, people try quick fixes first. We reach for over-the-counter syrups that just suppress a cough temporarily, or maybe harsh stimulants that might force your airways open for an hour or two, but ultimately leave you feeling jittery and even more exhausted later in the day. Based on our research, these previous solutions frequently fail for long-term relief. Why? Because they only chemically mask the surface symptoms. They don't actually do anything to address the root causes, which are often deep airway inflammation or cellular oxidative damage. When you ignore those underlying issues, the consequences really start to compound. You end up with chronic fatigue, significantly poor sleep quality, and a gradual, almost unnoticeable reduction in your physical activity simply because you don't have the stamina you used to. And real quick, just as a side note before we really get into the mechanics of how this product attempts to solve this, if at any point you decide this product is right for you, the absolute only safe place to purchase it is the official website. I've linked it directly in the description below this video. I'm going to explain exactly why that matters so much when we get to the counterfeit warnings later, but I wanted to put that out there right away.
Now, the root of this respiratory problem almost always lies in our environment. Think about it. Every single day, your lungs act as a massive, continuous filter. They are constantly dealing with environmental stressors like airborne pollution, fine particulate dust, and aggressive seasonal allergens. Over time, this constant, relentless exposure triggers what is known as oxidative stress and chronic bronchial inflammation. Your body is smart, so it responds by producing excess mucus to try and trap these invading particles. But that defense mechanism backfires because the mucus narrows your airway passages, making every single breath require just a little more effort. It's this daily, compounding wear and tear that ultimately prompts people to search for meaningful, long-term respiratory relief rather than just temporary symptom suppression.
That brings us to part two. What exactly is Pulmo Balance? Let's define the supplement.
In my assessment, it is absolutely vital to define exactly what this product is and, just as importantly, what it is not. Pulmo Balance is a dietary supplement. It comes in a daily capsule format. It is completely plant-based, non-GMO, and formulated specifically for adult use. Now, I want to be very clear here, it is not a prescription medication. It is not an emergency bronchodilator, and it is definitely not an inhaler. As for the manufacturing, it is produced right here in the United States in an FDA-registered facility that holds a Good Manufacturing Practice, or GMP certification. That is a very important detail to look for. It means the facility is subject to strict federal safety regulations and quality control protocols regarding the purity and consistency of what goes into every single capsule. It's been on the market long enough to amass a significant customer base, positioning itself firmly as a daily maintenance tool for long-term respiratory wellness rather than a quick emergency fix.
When we look at the manufacturer's core promises, they're leaning heavily into a multi-targeted approach. First, they claim the formula supports natural airway clearance, essentially helping your body manage and expel that stubborn mucus we talked about earlier. Second, they state it balances bronchial inflammation, which in theory creates a more open, relaxed respiratory passage. Furthermore, they promise antioxidant lung protection at the cellular level. This is meant to neutralize those free radicals we breathe in daily, which in turn is supposed to encourage much more efficient oxygen circulation throughout your entire body. And finally, they emphasize that it achieves all of this through a non-habit-forming daily capsule. Now, these are substantial claims for a natural product. So the real question we have to answer is, does the science actually back this up?
Let's move to part 3 and find out. We're going to do a deep dive into the key ingredients and the botanical formula itself.
We are going to systematically break down the 7 core ingredients in Pulmo Balance based on our research. First up is mullein extract. Historically and scientifically, mullein acts as an expectorant. Its primary role is helping to thin and loosen stubborn mucus, making it easier for your body to naturally clear it out of your airways while also providing a soothing effect to irritated respiratory tracts. Next, we have bromelain. This is an active enzyme derived from pineapples. Based on the evidence, bromelain is highly effective at balancing bronchial inflammation. It works to reduce swelling in the nasal and respiratory passages. However, it's worth noting that it does have mild blood-thinning properties, which we'll discuss in the safety section. Third is maritime pine bark. This is a potent ingredient rich in antioxidants. Its job in this formula is to protect delicate lung tissue from oxidative damage and support healthy blood flow, which is crucial for oxygen exchange. Then we have quercetin dihydrate. Think of quercetin as a natural antihistamine. It works at the cellular level to help keep your airways stable and less reactive against environmental allergens. Working alongside that is stinging nettle, which also focuses on seasonal histamine management, essentially calming the upper respiratory system's overreaction to things like pollen or dust. We also see tiger milk mushroom in the blend, a really fascinating functional mushroom that research suggests promotes the long-term structural vitality and resilience of lung tissue itself. Finally, and perhaps most importantly for a supplement like this, is bioperine. This is a patented black pepper extract. By itself, it doesn't do much for your lungs, but what it does clinically is enhance the bioavailability and absorption of all the other botanical compounds. Without something like bioperine, your body might just pass these ingredients right through your digestive tract without absorbing them. So its inclusion here is a massive strength for the formula.
Moving on to part 4, let's look at claims versus reality, marketing versus science.
This is where we need to contrast the enthusiastic brand marketing with the cold, hard scientific reality. The brand boldly claims it has helped thousands breathe easy, and they heavily highlight their clinically researched natural ingredients. Now, transparency requires us to look much closer at that wording. Based on our analysis, while it is absolutely true that every single individual ingredient in this formula has a very real foundation of peer-reviewed research supporting its role in respiratory health, the finished, combined Pulmo Balance product itself has not been subjected to its own independent, double-blind clinical trials. To be fair, this is incredibly common in the dietary supplement industry. Most brands don't fund multi-million-dollar trials for a botanical blend. But as a smart consumer, it means you need to understand that the specific synergy of these exact ingredients mixed together hasn't been clinically quantified in a laboratory setting. We are relying entirely on the established science of the individual components.
Because of that, you need to keep your expectations highly realistic. Individual results are going to vary widely based on your age, your baseline health, your daily environment, and most importantly, your consistency in taking it. There is no specific level of improvement in breathing that can be guaranteed here. To be completely balanced, let's clearly lay out the pros and cons of this formula. Based on our research, here are the top 4 pros. Number 1, it utilizes a synergistic, multi-targeted approach, tackling both mucus and inflammation simultaneously. Number 2, the inclusion of bioperine ensures actual absorption, so you aren't just wasting your money. Number 3, it's manufactured in a certified GMP facility in the USA, ensuring high-quality control. And number 4, they back it with a 90-day money-back guarantee, which greatly reduces your financial risk. Now, let's look at the 4 cons. Number 1, as we just covered, there are no independent clinical trials on the final finished product. Number 2, it utilizes a proprietary blend, which is a massive pet peeve of mine. A proprietary blend means we know what ingredients are in it, but the manufacturer hides the exact dosages of each specific herb, making it hard to compare to individual clinical studies. Number 3, it is only available to purchase online. And number 4, active enzymes in the formula, specifically bromelain, can interact with certain prescription medications. And that actually brings us directly to our next critical point.
Let's get into Part 5, Safety and Side Effects, and some vital medical disclaimers.
In my assessment, the ideal user for Pulmo Balance is an adult, roughly between 30 and 70 years old, who is dealing with general daily respiratory discomfort, seasonal reactions, or perhaps someone focusing on post-smoking lung recovery who wants proactive, natural support. However, it is absolutely not for everyone. Based on the research, specific populations must avoid this product entirely or explicitly seek medical clearance first. This includes children under 18, as well as pregnant or nursing mothers. Furthermore, because ingredients like bromelain have documented mild blood-thinning properties, individuals taking prescription blood thinners, like warfarin for example, must exercise extreme caution.
Similarly, if you are currently taking SSRIs, immunosuppressants, or if you have a formally diagnosed severe respiratory condition like advanced COPD, emphysema, or severe asthma, this product is not appropriate for you to just start taking without direct medical supervision.
I really cannot emphasize this enough. This product is a dietary supplement, it is not a medication, it is not a cure, and it is absolutely not a replacement for prescribed medical treatment. If you are experiencing persistent, frightening shortness of breath or a chronic, painful cough, those are serious symptoms that require a proper professional medical evaluation. You should always consult your physician before adding any new supplement to your daily routine, especially if you are actively managing an existing health condition or taking prescription drugs. Your doctor is the only one who understands your specific, individual health profile.
Finally, let's cover Part 6, the Consumer Buying Guide, focusing heavily on sourcing and authenticity. Here are the practical steps you should take. Once you've thoughtfully evaluated that a natural supplement fits your personal health plan and you've cleared it with your doctor, you need to look at the purchasing options. The manufacturer offers several different packages. In my assessment, if you are genuinely going to commit to a respiratory supplement, I highly recommend considering the largest package, which is usually their 6-bottle option. Why? It comes down to basic logic and biology. Botanical supplements take time to build up in your system and affect cellular change. If you buy a single bottle and stop after just 3 weeks because you ran out, you are essentially preventing yourself from seeing the full potential results. Purchasing the larger package prevents you from running out during that crucial initial adaptation phase. And quite frankly, it makes the most financial sense. It offers the best value through significant bulk discounts, and it almost always includes free shipping and some extra digital bonuses. Most importantly, no matter what size you buy, retain your order confirmation email so you are fully protected by their 90-day money-back guarantee.
But there is a massive, highly urgent warning we have to cover regarding exactly where you buy this. The natural lung health supplement category is, unfortunately, heavily plagued by fake and counterfeit products. There are massive, real-world risks associated with buying this product on third-party marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, or Walmart.com. Counterfeit operations frequently perfectly mimic the label and the bottle, but they fill the actual capsules with cheap sawdust fillers, entirely incorrect dosages, or worse, heavily contaminated and unsafe chemical additives. There have been real harms caused by fake supplements in this exact category. If you buy from a reseller, you forfeit all quality control and you completely void the manufacturer's money-back guarantee. This is why I mentioned it earlier. The link I have placed in the description below this video takes you directly to the official, secure Pulmo Balance website. It is not a reseller and it is not a third-party listing. That is the only link I share because it is the absolute only source I trust to guarantee you are getting the authentic, safe, USA-made formula.
So, what is the final verdict here? Well, if you want a magic overnight cure that's going to fix your lungs by tomorrow morning, skip this entirely. That doesn't exist. But if you are looking for a carefully formulated, scientifically backed botanical tool to help naturally manage daily airway inflammation and mucus production over the long term, Pulmo Balance is a highly credible option. It's built on solid individual ingredient research and it's manufactured properly. I want to leave you with this final thought to consider. How will you approach the balance between proactive, natural supplementation and professional medical guidance to protect your vitality moving forward? If you're ready to try it, check the description for that verified official link. Breathe well, make smart choices, and take care of your health.